This is the plaintiff, Joseph Musso. He says he and his ex-girlfriend rented the defendant's apartment, and a few weeks later they split up. He let the defendants know he would not be moving in and requested his security deposit back. The defendant said they just bought a new granite countertop and new cabinets for the kitchen. Huh? How's that his problem? He's suing for $3,375, the amount owed. These are the defendants, Danielle and Anthony Cuoco. They say the plaintiff's girlfriend called them and said she'd just broken up with the plaintiff and wouldn't be moving in. Since the place was off the market on the plaintiff's promise to rent it, it took them a long time to re-rent the place to someone else, which put them in a bind. Therefore, they have every right to keep the security, and they hope the judge agrees. They're accused of holding on tight.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says he and his girlfriend rented the defendant's apartment, but they broke up. He wants his security back. The defendants say they put granite countertops in, relying on a lease they believed existed, so the security is theirs. It's the case of Stone Cold.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Joseph Musso and Jeanette Case, you have power of attorney
yes.
for your, I guess, ex-girlfriend?
Ex-girlfriend, yes.
Okay. You are suing Danielle and Anthony
Try it.
Cuoco. I was good. Cuoco or
Cuoco.
Cuoco for $3,375, which represents a security deposit that they have kept of yours, and you want it back.
Yes.
All right, talk to me. What's going on?
Well, back in December, I moved in with my girlfriend in her home, and it was a small 2-bedroom house. So we decided to move into a bigger home, and we looked at the defendant's home in February. The house was still being renovated. It was empty, from what I understood, empty for almost a year, and it was under renovation. Had no sink in the bathroom, no fixtures, had no countertop, no carpet downstairs. But I saw the potential in the house. It was a nice looking home, so we decided that we wanted the house. And this is back in February 17th. We met up with the defendant to sign an agreement with their realtor, and the house wasn't going to be ready till April 1st. So we all agreed that April 1st would be a good date. Shortly after that, less than a week, my girlfriend and I had some differences and we broke up.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Just couldn't.
Wow.
Well,
you go from looking for a home together to breaking up in 7 days. What a difference a week makes.
That may have been the problem.
They're looking for the house part?
Just too much too soon. But
who pulled the plug, you or her?
I'm sorry?
Who pulled the you or me?
I pulled the plug.
Okay, go ahead.
She's a great girl.
Okay.
So I notified the realtor right away as soon as it happened that we could no longer take the home. And they advised me they could not contact the defendants because they were on vacation. But a few days later, they placed the house back on the for rent, on MLS, whatever it is. It was for rent again. And this is still all in February. So I waited a little bit. The realtor, in the meantime, she refunded me back all my the realtor's fee, which was $11.25.
That's unusual because I never see that. So is the realtor a friend of yours?
Not a friend of mine. There was a defendant's realtor.
The defendant's realtor?
Yes, she just figures what's morally and ethically right.
No.
Given the situation.
Let me tell you something. I've dealt with a lot of realtors. I never see that.
Well, that happens.
And that's not a shot on realtors. I'm just telling you, I very seldom in business see people say, here, can I give a couple $1,000? I just don't see it. All right, so go on. What does your girlfriend do?
She works for mortgage brokers.
Oh.
No, she doesn't have no connection.
She had no connection?
None at all.
Okay, go ahead.
None at all.
Go ahead.
I waited a little while. The realtor said not to call and contact them right away because there was something with their son. I said, all right, I'll wait another week or so. And I did contact Danielle, and I spoke to her. I apologized for everything, but nothing I could do. We're not together anymore. We're not moving in. She was upset. She said they ordered the granite countertops, they ordered the carpet with my security deposit. Right? Which on a house that was being renovated. I did not believe that my security deposit was supposed to be paid.
No, but what do you mean? That she was saying she didn't have the money? Well,
because they already ordered all the granite tops. With the money that I gave them, they ordered granite tops and carpeting that the house needed anyway, because it was missing it. I mean, it's not that I requested that. That was what to finish the renovations.
I'm sorry. So when do you give, you say that you gave notice within a week, to the realtor. But you didn't talk to her to request your security deposit. And the realtor apparently wasn't helping you to get your security deposit back.
The realtor...
And you didn't do that because the realtor asked you not to. So when is it that you first asked for your security deposit back?
The first time was a phone conversation on February the 23rd.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That was still like a week.
And her response to you is, no, you cost me money, you're breaching.
Well, it was just that she's very upset with the whole situation. I said, I am too.
Okay, talk to me. What happened that was so upsetting? Other than
we
business.
wanted to rent it out, and they were wonderful people. I have to be honest. We got along wonderful. They even let me come to the home that they were renting before mine, and the house was immaculate. Beautiful.
Just because you wanted to check out if they were clean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a beautiful home. We redid it. It is absolutely gorgeous. It has, like you said, granite countertops.
So you actually went to visit? Did it have anything to do with the pets, though?
Oh, no, they had explained to me that they had a cat, and I had said no pets.
Right.
So she had said, well, if you'd like to come to my house, you can see that, the cat has, you wouldn't even know that there's a cat here.
Okay.
So that's how the whole opportunity was to come to their house.
All right. So you get word that they are not going to take the house, and you get that word when?
Like he said, we were on vacation. I'm pretty sure his timeline is about correct. It wasn't a huge amount of time.
Did you make an effort to re-rent the place for April 1st?
Yeah, we made an effort. We went, like he said, it went right back. Everything he said is completely true. We put it back on the market immediately.
Okay.
It just took a more time to rent it than it did when they looked at it.
Did you end up renting it?
We did. Unless they didn't give it to you, I have their lease just to make sure that you could see.
May I see the lease?
Yeah, and then my real estate agent printed out, so that you had that. I'll just give you everything.
Now, how much was rent? Rent was how much a month?
$22.50.
Okay, but you've kept the entire, what was this, a month and a half?
It was a month and a half.
Okay. Your Honor?
No, wait.
Okay.
All right, so you have a lease.
We don't have a lease. There was never a lease signed.
I don't know what you're doing.
Sorry.
But you don't know what you're talking about, okay? So you have a lease. The lease was entered into on April 9th between you guys and the current renters that are going in there, they're paying rent as of May 15th for $22.50, the same amount, so you're not out any monthly fee. And you wanted to respond to that. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I thought you were assuming that
That's okay,
we
go
had a
ahead.
lease. We never had a lease.
No, not you guys.
I didn't.
This is what their
apologize for
new
that.
lease is. Do you have any evidence to contradict this? In other words,
Their lease?
Yeah.
I have none, no. I just have a document that states, that says the place was rented on the 11th, which, of course, it just assumes that it was removed off the...
Move off the MLS on
Right,
the 11th,
yeah.
which would be consistent with the date they entered into this contract, which is
Okay.
April 9. Okay? So based on that, that would entitle them then to a month and a half's rent as a result of your breach. Then they
Even-
would be keeping the right amount.
Even if the half month's rent was because we had animals, we had pets, we had the cats, that's what...
Yeah, because here's what it is. Security deposit are for damages. That's why you ended up paying a bigger security deposit, just in case your pet damaged stuff. But damages include rent that's owed to them. And if you end up oh, wait a minute, hold on one second. You never had a lease.
Never had a lease. The lease was never signed. Never provided, never signed.
Stop talking. Oh my God, there's no off button on him. Never had a lease.
Very passionate, sorry.
End of February. Do you have any evidence when you changed your mind? You said that his timeline was right.
I have evidence when the house was put back on the market.
That'll
okay?
do. That's the best you got? Yes.
I did. 24th.
What's the day you wrote the check?
February 17th.
You know what? I need to consider this. Court is in recess.
All rise.
So the landlord didn't actually get a signed lease, but the tenants, gave the money. They were relying on a lease. Breaks up with his girlfriend. Does he get his security back?
Well, there's no written agreement that says that he has to pay the security deposit, but there's also no written agreement that...
Does he get it back or not?
No, he doesn't get it back.
Okay, fair enough. What do you think?
You should get it back, for sure.
Why?
I mean, there's no signature.
But the guy gave him the security, so there's got to be something here, right?
Nah, shot. It's over.
business.
I don't think he gets it back. No, I don't think so.
Why not?
Because I think it's I'm lost in words, but obviously I just...
Think about it. Get back to me sometime. Going inside the courtroom.
It takes a tough one to stump me because I do this all day long and for a long time, but I got to tell you, I have some additional questions. He mentioned something that there was no lease.
There was no lease.
Okay. There was this one document that says rent deposit on top.
Correct.
And then it asks for a month and a half, and then it says that the parties contemplate that they will be signing a lease.
Correct.
And that lease was going to be a month-to-month lease. Anyway, it was still going to be a month-to-month. It wasn't going to be a year lease.
Correct.
Geez, how many outs do you need to be able to commit to a relationship? It was a month-to-month. All right.
Thank you.
Now, here's the problem that I have. I understand your position that, look, Judge, we were gonna have rent starting April 1st if this deal went through. He breached the deal, and now we're gonna have rent starting May 15th. So we ought to have the month and a half. And there's a certain beauty to that argument. Here's the problem, though. You have no lease with him. When you have no lease, or even in the lease that was contemplated to be signed,
Right.
it's a month to month, okay, at best. And when it's a month to month, you have 30 days, a right to 30 days notice,
Okay.
okay? Not 2.5 months notice or 1.5 months notice or anything else.
Okay.
He notified you folks, because it went back on the market on February 24th. So he notified you guys well before the rental period was going to occur, if in fact you guys had entered into the lease. But even just verbally, if something happened with the paperwork, he was, no matter what, everybody agrees that April 1st is the start date. So if he tells you on February 24th, you've got the 30 days. The law wants to give landlords the 30 days because the law figures that 30 days is plenty of time to re-rent the place. And if it turns out that you don't, and say you don't re-rent it for 6 months, would that give you a right to turn around and sue him for 6 months when the guy never even signed a lease? No, it doesn't. You would have damages. If you can show me damages, and I don't think that they happened in this case, like additional realtor fees, additional advertising costs, gas to go show it, I mean, something. Those would be results of his breach. But I don't have that here. Consequently, I have to order you to return the entire security deposit because he gave you adequate notice of it. $3,375 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
And so, therefore, the plaintiff has won this case here in the People's Court. Step in here. The defendant, you understand the idea
Sure.
behind the verdict, right?
Sure.
Month-to-month lease
Yes.
and 30 days.
And 30
So you
days.
have no problem with the
No problem.
with the judgment.
We live and learn. It's good.
All right, head right around the corner there. Okay, step on in here. All right, and so you were saying there was no lease.
All right.
You were
Exactly.
saying
From
that
right
in
from the
there.
get-go, there was no lease.
Right.
And it's just, when you sign a lease, you oblige by it, and there was no lease.
Did you know the law?
Kind of, yes.
With the 30 days?
I was just shocked that we had to get to this point. It should have just been taken
Why do you
care of
think we
before.
did have to get to this point?
I have no idea. They just wanted my money.
Harvey?
So the defendant can only get a maximum of 30 days because there was no signed lease. And when there's no signed lease, 30 days is the maximum amount of time that the law will imply for the tenancy. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.